Hello and welcome to another episode of Pardon My Take. I'm Kade Faircloth, and we are to discuss the Super Bowl between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at Raymond James Stadium this Sunday. Now, this game is pretty interesting. There's a lot of headlines going into this game. What are we going to expect from Brady? Is this Brady's last Super Bowl? Especially if he wins? Can Mahomes beat Brady and one of the biggest accolades in somebody's career? There's a lot of questions. Let's start off with the whole Brady retiring thing. Brady is 43 years old, and Father Time has yet to beat him. But if he wins, he will have 7 Super Bowls. Mahomes was not joking when he was saying, he went to his 150th Super Bowl. That's just ridiculous in itself. If he has 7 Super Bowls, him by himself would be tied with the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Dallas Cowboys for all-time leading number of Super Bowl championships. And he'll be doing it as a single-handed player. He will be tied with the most, by teams to win it as well. That's just unreal. And, you go Mahomes. Mahomes already has a Super Bowl and he's going in his 4th year. This is his 4th year in the league, and he's chasing after 2. Mahomes has the chance to be basically the next Brady, kind of carry that mantle to just be the guy that goes and wins Super Bowls. And that's exciting to see. And what better way to do it than to knock off Brady in a Super Bowl to kind of take the mantle and be that guy for the coming years. Rob Gronkowski said it clear in the interview for the Super Bowl. He was like, oh yeah, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes can be Tom Brady's son for sure. They are so similar in how they lead and everything like that, and just always have a desire of winning. And that's huge. That's a huge compliment, and this is just going to be a great battle. Both teams have amazing talent on both sides of the ball, and it's really just going to come down to which defense is going to make the plays at the right time, which is going to have them win the Super Bowl. And that's a very generic thing. People say all the time, defense wins championships, but it's a big deal. Let's look at the Bucs playoff run this year. Their playoff wins were strictly off of big defensive plays. If those big defensive plays don't happen, they may get away with beating Washington, but they most likely lose against the Saints, because that was a close game, thick and thin throughout the whole game. But with those turnovers, 2 picks from Breeze and a fumble by Jared Cook, you don't get those 3 turnovers, then the Saints probably run the clock down and win the game. And that was huge for the Bucs. And also with Green Bay. You look at that game, and Tom Brady threw 3 picks. And you look at a lot of games, if your quarterback's throwing 3 picks and you're giving up the ball, you only have so many chances to score points and win the games. The only way you can get more opportunities is if the defense gives you chances to score those points by producing turnovers or a quick turnover on downs, or they have the defense to punt it, anything possible. And so honestly, the Bucs defense has been the real carrier of this squad. And unlike the Chiefs, the Chiefs defense is solid. They have strong leaders in Tyrann Mathieu and others, but they're a little bit different because they rely more on the offensive side, and which is only fair. They score points. They're explosive. Nobody can really stop them on offense. So that's going to be a big issue for the Bucs. If the Bucs defense cannot stop Mahomes and the Chiefs, it's plain and simple. The Chiefs will win the game. Because their defense may not be better than the Bucs, but their defense is good enough to make plays and to be a good defense to win the championship and the Chiefs could walk around and win it. But if Brady is going to put up a fight. Brady will be in the game for the majority of the game, and he's going to definitely rely on his defense, and as he should. Any quarterback relies on their defense. And Brady's going to rely on them. He's going to get the points. He's going to keep it close, but it's going to be tough for this defense. This is going to be a big test for the defense to stop this Kansas City team. This Kansas City team is so strong on all parts of the offensive side. So, now I'm going to finish it off with my prediction. You have Tom Brady, who's 43, going into his 10th Super Bowl, trying to get his 7th Super Bowl win. That is unbelievable in itself. And then you have Mahomes, who has a great offensive squad, and don't disregard Brady's squad either. Their offense is great as well. Brady finished top 5 in passing yards, and Mahomes did as well. And their offense is very explosive. I mean, they had Mike Evans finished with a 1,000-yard season. They have a lot of explosive talent on that Bucs side as well, as good enough as the Chiefs do. And that's something to definitely look out for. But if I had to predict what happened, I would say that in the beginning, this game is going to start off chippy. It is going to be back and forth. I don't think the defenses will figure each other out. I think the Bucs defense is going to be taken by surprise again by the Chiefs, like they were in their first matchup earlier in the season. I think they're going to be taken by surprise again. And I think the Bucs offense is actually going to roll as well. Brady's going to put up a fight trying to compete for his 7th Super Bowl win. And it's going to go back and forth. But I feel that ultimately, the Bucs offense will slow down to where the Chiefs offense will not. And I feel like the Chiefs will ultimately win this game as the game goes on, or stretch themselves enough where Brady doesn't really have a chance to come back. And therefore, I predict my final score for this game to be 28-17 Chiefs. And I'm Kade Faircloth. Thank you so much for tuning into this podcast, and we hope to see you next time.